In the Tottori dunes of Japan or the vast empty quarter of Arabia, there are mountains that don't stay still. They don't have legs, engines, or wings, yet they can walk across the earth, devouring roads, burying forests, and swallowing entire villages. To a person standing still, they look like solid rock. But through the lens of time-lapse photography, they reveal their true nature. They are giant, slow-motion waves of Earth.
Behind every moment lies a scientific wonder. I'm Kale, and welcome to SciCurios, where curiosity meets science.
Today, we're looking at the Barchan, the living wall of the desert, and the physics of how 1 billion tons of sand moves as one. How does a dune move? It's not being pushed like a giant carpet. It's actually being rebuilt grain by grain. The process is called saltation. As wind hits the back of the dune, it picks up sand grains. These grains don't just fly, they hop and bounce, hitting other grains and knocking them into the air. Think of it like a massive game of leapfrog. The wind pushes the sand up the gentle slope of the windward side. Once the sand reaches the peak, or the crest, it falls over the steep slip face on the other side. By constantly taking sand from the back and putting it at the front, the entire dune migrates forward. It is a biological-looking movement performed by non-living matter. The most famous walking dunes are Barchans, crescent-shaped dunes with 2 horns pointing downwind. These are the sprinters of the desert. Because the horns are lower and contain less sand, the wind moves them much faster than the heavy center. This creates that iconic sickle shape. But there's a catch. The bigger the dune, the slower it moves. A small dune might sprint at 30 meters a year, while a 100-foot giant might only move a few centimeters. In some places, like Morocco, these living walls are so predictable that local governments can calculate exactly which year a house will be buried. What happens when a fast-moving small dune catches up to a slow-moving big one? It doesn't just crash. They interact like waves in a liquid. Sometimes the small dune passes through the larger one, or they merge in a process scientists call dune cannibalism. The physics are so similar to fluid dynamics that researchers use computer models designed for water to predict where a desert will be 10 years from now. It's a reminder that on a large enough scale, the solid Earth behaves a lot like a fluid. The living walls of the desert remind us that the Earth is never truly static. Even the most desolate landscapes are in a state of constant, rhythmic motion. They are the ultimate endurance runners, moving silently across centuries, grain by grain. If a giant sand dune was slowly moving toward your house, would you try to stop it with a wall, or would you just pack your bags and move? Let me know in the comments.
Science is everywhere if you just know where to look. Thanks for watching SciCurious. Until next time.